If you thought buying a home across Southwest Florida was a challenge, try renting one. Rents are up and the availability of a good home to get is shrinking. That's not a very good combination for many would-be tenants. To talk about some rental tips, Wink News real estate expert Denny Grimes from Denny Grimes and Company is with us this morning. This has, I think, been an ongoing problem where if you need to rent, it's been a tight market and has been for a while.
Yes, y'all just run a report on that not long ago and talk about how much the rents have changed. And there's two basic kinds of rentals in our area. There's a seasonal, which is typically furnished, and then the annual, which is typically unfurnished. So the data I'm going to share is talking about the annual. So people coming down and say, look, I want to rent a home, try it out for a while. Maybe I can't afford to buy it. I want to rent a home for a year unfurnished. And so I have some surprising statistics to share.
There aren't necessarily a lot out there,
There's
are there?
not a lot. And so the slide will come up first. You'll see basically the most expensive place to rent, as you can imagine, is in Collier County. The median rental price for an annual unfurnished home is $3,500. And the surprising thing is when you get into Fort Myers, you have a little bit more supply. You have 53, but when you go into Cape Coral and Lehigh, the two most popular rental markets, you're looking at 60 some homes for sale, for rent with an average rent of $1,500. And the surprising, Lehigh, as large as it is, only has 21 homes for rent.
Wow.
The other thing that's interesting about the rental market is the fact that there's nothing available from a single family standpoint under $1,000 anymore, so the rents are really moving up.
They are moving up. I can't believe that the availability is that limited, especially in Lehigh and Cape, where you think people would want to rent, or people would rent.
Yeah, there's 350 homes for sale in Lehigh, only 21 for rent.
Interesting.
So we have some tips. I have some tips for the tenants. Number one, the first thing is that landlords hate one thing universally, and that's problem children. So if you are in a rental, if a tenant's in a rental and they like the rental, mind your P's and Q's. Make sure your rent's there early, a day or so early, and don't call at 3 o'clock in the morning because your microwave light has burned out. Take care of little things like that, because when it comes time for renewal, the landlord, if you're a problem, is going to look for another tenant, and they can find one early in this market, one easy in this market.
Sure could. And extend your lease early, you tell them too.
That's right. So if you are basically halfway into a lease or whatever, extend it, and the landlord may take a longer lease and lock in your price instead of it rising.
In this kind of market, what do you think landlords should do?
Well, they should examine the rental rates. I own rental property, and the rental rates have even snuck up on me, so I imagine a lot of people aren't into real estate like I am. So if you haven't looked at your rental rates in a while, you may want to, because as you reported, rental rates are up between 10 and 25% in the last year.
But you say remember the value of a good tenant.
Yes, and you can go push the envelope. You might chase that tenant out and get a new tenant at a higher rate, but they're the problem child you're trying to avoid. So to try to balance that out, the value of a great tenant, you want to keep them, because you also have to figure out what the vacancy is going to cost you.
And quickly, in this tight market, if you're the one searching for the home, what should you be doing?
You got to act with speed. You got to pretend like you're going to, and you're going to have your Sunday go to meeting clothes on. Don't look like you just came back from the swamp buggy races. Have your checkbook ready and a rental application with references on hand, because rentals are going fast. You need to step up and look your best and present yourself the best.
Strike fast.
That's right.
All right, Denny, always good advice. Thanks for coming in. Wink News this morning. We'll be right back.